Okay, we're going to go over the formative. So number 1, 1.2x equals 6. So 1.2 is to be multiplied by x. So first we're going to draw our balance line, and then we're going to, because it's multiplication, we're going to use the inverse, and we're going to divide both sides by 1.2. On this side, the 1.2's cancel each other out, so this leaves us with x, and then 6 divided by 1.2. So 1.2 is our divisor. We put it on the outside, and then 6 is the dividend. We put it on the inside. We have to move the decimal one place to the right because we can only divide by whole numbers. And what we do to the outside, we have to do to the inside. So we put our decimal here in 6. Remember, if it's hidden, it's to the right. If it's out of sight, it's to the right. And then we're going to add a 0 here and then move it one place. So now our new equation is 12 into 60. 12 goes into 60 5 times with no remainder. So our answer is 5. X equals 5. Number 2, we put our balance line. This is 2/3 x, which means 2/3 times x equals 2. So we're going to divide both sides by 2/3. Now you may have learned a different way to show this by your teacher. This is the way I do it. We divide 2/3 divided by 2/3 gives you x. And my students, we rewrite it 2 times, or 2 divided by 2/3. And now we're going to rewrite this to be change reciprocal, 2 times 3 over 2. If you learned to multiply it by 3/2, then you would get to that step first. Now we're going to multiply these together. You can either multiply 2 times 3 and get 6, and this and get 2, or you can cross cancel. Let me show you that over here, which makes it easier. You cross the 2 divided by 2, so these both become 1s, and you straight away get 3, or you can simplify this to 3. Either way, x equals 3. Keep that dividing line going all the way down. All right, number 3. X over 3.5. This is division, so we're going to use the inverse operation. The inverse of division is multiplication, so we're going to multiply both sides. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other by 3.5. So we get x equals 5 times 3.5. We do that over here. Remember, when you're multiplying decimals, you line up the digits. 5 times 5 is 25. 15, that gives you 17, and you have 1 decimal place in your factor, so 1 decimal place in your answer. That gives you 17 and 5/10. All right, number 4. 167 equals x plus 89. So we want to get x by itself, so we're going to use the inverse operation. Since they're adding, we're going to subtract 89 from both sides. Obviously, 89 minus 89 gives us x. If you want to, you can rewrite it like this, so your variable is on the left, and do this problem exactly the way I'm going to do it, just on opposite sides. 167 minus 89 gives us 78. So x equals 78. And number 5, I'm going to put our dividing line is x minus 1/4 equals 7/8. So the inverse of subtraction is addition. We're going to add 1/4 to both sides. X equals, now we can't add 7/8 and 1/4 together because they don't have common denominators. So we have to find the common denominator. The common denominator of 8 and 4 is 8. So we're going to rewrite this one. We don't have to rewrite 7/8. We're going to rewrite 1/4. Multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, because 4 times 2 gives us 8. That gives us 2 8s. So 7/8 plus 2 8s, you add the numerators, 9. Your denominator stays the same as 9 8s. Now we want to simplify that. 8 goes into 9 one time with a remainder of 1. So that gives you 1 and 1/8. Great, now you can turn it over and do the ones that you missed.